Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. The Philippines has officially entered a recession with second quarter GDP clocking in down by 17% almost. And this marks the country's worst economic slump in nearly 3 decades. Gross domestic product shrank by 16.5 percentage points in April to June, 16.5%. This is worse than the revised contraction in the first quarter, which clocked in at 0.7%. Overall, the economy shrank by 9% in the first half of 2020. The government's economic team had already warned of a deeper contraction for the second quarter as COVID-19 lockdowns plugged activity. However, they believe that the worst is over for the economy after this second quarter slump. The economic cluster has now revised GDP outlook for the year to negative 5.5%. That is already factoring in the recent shift to MECQ in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. Government launched the One Hospital Command Center, or OHCC, in Makati this morning. This aims to improve the referral system among hospitals amid the pandemic. News 5's Marcel Halili joins us live from Mandaluyong to tell us more about this new center. Mase, how does the OHCC, or how can this OHCC help in our COVID-19 response?
Sean, with more hospitals declaring full capacity, the One Hospital Command Center was launched this morning for those who are having a hard time locating a hospital that can attend to their needs. Aside from this, the National Task Force also reiterated their plans on how to decongest hospitals, especially here in Metro Manila, and how to prevent the spread of the COVID-19. Chief Implementer Secretary Carlito Galvez announced that work areas, especially those in economic hubs, are now considered as critical areas. Based on the monitoring of the Interagency Task Force, workers must be educated about their mindset and behavior while working in their offices. He also warned that canteen and smoking areas can be sources of contamination. Public transportation and company shuttles are also said to be vulnerable in the spread of the virus. Densely populated areas like informal communities must also be closely monitored for COVID transmission. So far, more than 115,000 COVID cases are recorded in the country. Singaporean news organization Straits Times forecasted that the Philippines will surpass Indonesia as the COVID-19 epicenter in the Southeast Asia. But Deputy Chief Implementer Vince Dizon shrugged it off and said that these are just speculations made by the newspaper. He said that COVID-19 cases in the country will really increase because of our expanded testing capacity. Currently, the country has 1,700 bed capacity for isolation, but 1,400 of these have already been occupied. Dizon said they will tap more hotels to improve the country's bed capacity up to 3,000. They are also planning to add 3,000 more beds in Wihilas One Center on top of the existing 3,000 units. These facilities are being used for the isolation of mild and asymptomatic cases to decongest hospitals, especially in Metro Manila. This is also one of the purposes in creating the OHCC in Makati, to be headed by Health Undersecretary Leopoldo Vega. Patients may get in touch with the call center of OHCC for referrals to know which hospitals can attend to their needs. Sean, the IATF said that they will take advantage of the 2-week implementation of the modified enhanced community quarantine in Metro Manila and nearby provinces to prepare for the opening of the economy. Sean?
Right, thank you for that update on the OHCC. Marcel Halili joining us from Mandaluyong. And some police stations in Manila have run out of space to detain curfew violators. However, authorities say that they will still be strictly implementing the ordinance amid the modified ECQ. News 5's Justine Punsalang reports to us from Manila with the details.
Sean, at At least 100 curfew violators were apprehended by the Manila Police District overnight. Some of them were detained, but most of them were immediately released after the police officers took their details for case filing. Since the return to modified enhanced community quarantine, the local government of Manila once again implemented the 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew schedule. The police were relentless in arresting those who continue to violate the curfew hours. In Sampaloc, Manila alone, 40 were arrested while loitering the streets. 20 were apprehended in Pandacan, 15 for both Santa Cruz and Boriones Tondo, and 10 were apprehended by cops from the Abad Santos Police Station. Santa Cruz Police Station temporarily detained violators inside a covered court. They stayed there until 5 in the morning or when curfew was lifted. Violators admit that they are aware of the ongoing curfew, but still they have different reasons for staying out, like having a hard time sleeping, buying a cigarette, even asked by an aunt to buy laundry soap. A man who was apprehended claimed that he was out to beg for money. He said he was a house painter prior to the pandemic, but since March he did not have work and had to beg for money just to have something to eat. Meanwhile, curfew violators in Sampaloc, Tondo, and Pandacan were released immediately. Authorities say they no longer have the space to detain violators. However, the police have taken their personal information for case filing of the authorities. Sean, authorities further explained that they are minimizing the contact between the police and their currently detained criminals, as well as their freshly caught curfew violators, because they could possibly be carrying the COVID-19 virus. Based on the latest data from the PNP, 2,300 policemen have already contracted the SARS-like virus. Sean?
Thanks for that, Justine. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.